semi-hits with him on guitar.
Yeah. They're bound and determined for that UFO farewell tour not to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. Hailstorm's Lizzie Hale refuses to shut up and sing. Art has always played a role in revolution, she says.
Yeah, she's right, man. But, you know, I wish these interviewers would quit asking the musicians political questions and just stick to the music.
Well, you know, that's...
But they want that little headline, you know?
Yeah, they want that one blurb, yeah. You know, now that I found out who her personal publicist is, and I keep sending her, you know, requests to have her on the show.
Well, quit sending the nude pics, too. Don't do that. Don't send her your nude pics, too, when you send her.
She asked for them.
Oh, that's a requirement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but I hope to have her on by the end of the year. I'm going to send this publicist email once a week until she gives in.
There you go.
Todd LaTorre celebrates 8 years of fronting Queensryche. Man, has it been that long already?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, some good albums, too, man.
Yeah, he's done, and you know what? He's brought the old songs back to life, too.
Yeah.
Ace Frehley's next collection of original material will be released in 2021. Didn't he have an Origins 2 that he was working on?
Yeah, another covers album. I don't know what's going on with that, though.
I wonder what's going on. Metallica, Bon Jovi, and Kiss make Forbes magazine's annual list of world's highest-paid celebrities.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah, we know
Kiss,
Metallica's been making a lot of money for a long time.
Oh, man. Yeah. That is just a money-making machine.
Oh, man.
Graham Bonnet says Bob Kulick sounded angry yet lonely last time they spoke. Something was not quite right with him. It's probably that feud he's having with his brother.
Yeah, he said nobody's released, you know, what happened, how he passed away, so, you know.
Yeah.
Got to get that conspiracy thing going. Maybe something, maybe he did it himself, or maybe this or that, but yeah, I know, it's sad, though, he's gone. There's no more Kiss albums.
Anthrax announces 30th anniversary Persistence of Time Deluxe CD and vinyl editions.
Might have to check that out.
That might be interesting.
Yeah, I might have checked that out.
30 years since Persistence of Time came out.
I wish they'd quit doing that. Makes you feel old.
Really old. Man. All right, Queen's Brian May named greatest guitarist of all time by Total Guitar Magazine. I don't know if I'd go that far, but he is good.
Yeah, he's one of the top man. He's sure, he sure knew how to layer stuff and just make a huge, complete sound.
He had a huge sound. Yeah, I'll give him that. See, Megadeth new album recordings are officially underway. We broke that story weeks ago.
Yeah, but someone else had to do it too.
Yeah. Kiss mourns death of original road manager and former Rock and Metal Revival guest J.R. Smallings.
Yeah, you wanted the best. You got the best. The hottest band in the land. Kiss. That was him. He opened Kiss Alive 1.
Kiss Alive with that one. Yeah. The Pretty Reckless, little Cindy Lou Who's Taylor Momsen isn't opposed to acting again. Never say never.
Maybe in a video like the one you just sent me.
Yeah. I'd pay to see that. Let's see. Twisted Sister will be focusing on upcoming episode of Reel's documentary series, Breaking the Band.
And he's the narrator, so he's wondering if he's going to be able to say, like, hey, that's not true. That didn't happen. No, that's not right.
And this last story makes my day.
Uh-oh.
Steel Panther Satchel says, I still love Motley Crue, even though I think Nikki Sixx is a dick.
Yeah, you're not alone there, brother.
No, not at all. All right, that winds up our Talking Real Metal. Coming up next hour, we'll talk to Adrian-Vandenberg, and we got more great hard rock and metal right here on Rock and Metal Revival.
There is the latest track, Freight Train, from the new Vandenberg CD called 2020, and I want to welcome to Rock and Metal Revival guitarist Adrian-Vandenberg. Welcome to the show, Adrian.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. It's really, really great, actually. I haven't been active in America for such a long time. So it's about freaking time, so to speak.
Well, I just want to say that I'm really loving this new release, 2020, and I've been a fan of the first three albums, and I really like the fact that you went a little heavier this time around.
Oh yeah, that was basically intentionally actually. I don't know if you were aware of the three Vandenberg's Moon Kings albums I've been making over the last couple of years, and those were basically heavy blues rock albums. And at one point, I felt a serious urge to dig deeper into heavier and faster, louder material, and that was like a natural direction that I felt I needed to take. So. Also, because with all the Moon Kings show that I've done in the past 4 or 5 years, live it was a lot heavier than it always ended up on the album. So I decided to make a logical step and to move forward. And like you mentioned, the early Vandenberg albums, in those days, that was basically a sound that how. That was considered heavy in those days. Mm-hmm. If you listen to early Iron Maiden or records or something, it's not nearly as heavy as heavy records sound these days. So, but yeah, it's like a very natural progression for me. And I suppose usually people that have been around as long as I do, they start getting softer and smoother. But I'm going to go into the opposite direction and go faster and heavier.
That's awesome. I know, like I said before we went on the air, I told you that I was a big fan of your first 3 albums, and I remember that Alibi came out last in 1985, and I remember hearing Burning Heart, the new Burning Heart version that you did, and I was thinking, why a new Vandenberg album in 2020? What drove you to bring Vandenberg back? I mean, the band Vandenberg.
Well, it had to do with what I talked about before, that I felt the need to go a lot heavier and faster and deeper. And at the same time, in my band Vandenberg's Moon Kings that I had in the past couple of years, the great singer we had, his problem was that he has a very big farming company in Holland, and that basically stopped us from being able to tour a lot as much as I would like to outside of Holland, because he can't really be away for more than a couple of days from his farm, and I really started missing touring internationally. So that put together with the fact that I wanted to go heavier made sense to start up something new. And when my manager suggested, why don't you call it Vandenberg again, instead of once again coming up with a new name like I've done so many times in the past. Initially, I thought, well, I don't want it to give the impression that it's like a nostalgic thing, And when I thought about it, because I promised my manager, well, think about it for a couple of days, And when I thought about it, I thought, well, if I can find an amazing singer and put together an amazing kick-ass lineup, and then work with a name that has a heritage, it would be really great, Because then suddenly you've got like 1 + 1 is 3, basically, and then I suddenly got really excited, especially when Ronnie Romero wanted to be involved. That was the icing on the cake for me, And so I immediately started writing the kind of stuff that was like bubbling around in my brain lately, and tailored the songs to Ronnie's capabilities and to get the best out of him, and subsequently get the best out of the songs.
I am a huge fan of Ronnie Romero's work, and when I heard him do the version that he did of Burning Heart, I was just totally blown away. How did you and Ronnie become, get together and start working on this project?
Well, it was an interesting the way it went. About 5-6 years ago, I read in some magazine that Richie Blackmore wanted to do a bunch of rainbow shows, and I thought, as we know, Ronnie James Dio unfortunately passed away, and he's definitely one of my all-time favorite singers. And I thought, wow, I'm curious who's going to sing that stuff, So I went on YouTube and I saw Ronnie Romero sing his ass off on those songs, and I was blown away. I thought, holy cow, that guy is amazing. I actually wrote him a spontaneous little message at the time saying, well, congratulations with, playing with Blackmore, and I wish you a lot of success. And that was it. And I immediately got a mail back saying, thanks very much. I'm a big fan of your work. And the reason he started singing was because of the Starkers in Tokyo acoustic record that David Coverdale and I did together years ago.
Okay.
That was the reason why Ronnie started singing. So that immediately gave us a connection. So when I started thinking about putting a kick-ass lineup together, the first voice that popped into mind was Ronnie, and I sent him a message asking if he would be interested in talking about it, and he said, yeah, please, So I flew to Madrid out of Holland, and we talked about it, and everything basically fell together. I went back home and wrote the songs and the lyrics, and flew back to Madrid again to record demos. And then before we knew it, we were in the studio in LA recording the album. So everything went pretty natural, actually.
That's outstanding. And now who fills out the lineup for this version of Vandenberg?
Well, on 2 tracks, my good friends Rudy Sarzo plays bass, and Brian Tichy, the drummer, amazing drummer, and both great players and great friends. They play on 2 tracks as guest musicians. All the other tracks are 2 Dutch guys. The drummer is called Conrad Harris. He's been voted best rock drummer in the Benelux, which is Belgium, Luxembourg, and Holland, for already 6-7 years ago. And 6 and 7 years straight every year, number 1. And I didn't even know him.
Wow.
Somebody told me that, and I thought I'd better check out this guy. And I was blown away by his playing, so I thought, that's the guy. And he reacted immediately that he'd been waiting for years for a situation like this, because he loves touring all over the world too, And the bass player was a tip from a well-known Dutch bass player who teaches at one of the rock academies, and he said, well, I got the guy for you, and it was Randy. And Randy is a 27-year-old guy whose biggest favorite bands are Rainbow, Deep Purple, Whitesnake, and Led Zeppelin, so that turned out perfectly,
That fits right in, and I guess the next glowing question would be: is that your touring band? Your rhythm section? If you ever do get to go out with a Vandenberg tour here?
Yeah, absolutely. These are the guys in the band, and it's definitely not a project type of thing. Definitely not a one-off. It's definitely a solid band, and we're gonna play all over the world if it's up to us. So as soon as the Corona problems are fading away, hopefully before not too long, like everybody's hoping for, of course, and a concert can happen again. We're going to be on the road as much as we can.
That'll be outstanding. I know with this whole Corona thing going on, Adrian, do you find yourself writing more, or do you find you're actually, you've been on tour with Whitesnake for years and years and years, or do you find yourself just kicking back a little bit and relaxing?
Not at the moment, no, because I worked really hard on the album, and then pretty much right away the interviews started coming in. I've been doing about 95 interviews in the past 5 weeks.
Wow.
And it probably sounds tedious to a lot of people, but for me, it's always really exciting to talk to anybody about rock music, whether it's my own music or somebody else's. It's my life, and over the next period of time, I'm actually planning to start writing for the next album, because might as well use this time in a positive manner.
Exactly. And now the album gets released on May 29th, and now everyone I've talked to that's heard either Freight Train or Shadows of the Night or the newest version of Burning Heart loves it. Is there a track on here that you can't wait for people to hear, Adrian? Is there a track that you're just going, I can't wait till this drops on the people?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, there's a couple actually. Tomorrow there's going to be a new track online called Shadows. That's called Skyfall.
Okay.
And that's one of my favorites on the album. It's one of those epic tracks. It's more than 5 minutes, so it's not, in that respect, not radio friendly, as they call it. Another track that I'm dying for people to hear is a song called Hell and High Water. That's another epic track actually, and that's one of the tracks where Ronnie's singing is out of this world. It's really amazing, and I can't wait for people to hear it. So one more week, the album is out.
I am so looking forward to it. Well, which one of them would you like us to play? Because we don't care if it's radio friendly or not. We just want it to rock.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you have the whole album already?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, in that case, Hell and High Water. That's like one of my lifelong tracks that I'm most